Hey, welcome to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. I'm your host. You already know Fred Whitlow II, aka you already know the though, Minister Fred too. For those who know me, aka. Listen, we got a great show for you today. It is amazing. And again, we want to say thank you for taking the time to tune in. Now make sure you share this because we about to get deep. We about to get super deep. I mean, so deep, you're gonna be like, what? And it's just that kind of deep. My guest is amazing. So we're gonna start with a dope song. I mean, amazing song by Heesan Lee, and we'll be right back with our special guest. You're tuned into the session, Bible Beats and Bars, with your host, Fred Whitlow, too.
So what's this world's coming to? Somebody clarify. We busy covering the truth. Now everybody tells a lie. Barely alive. These people brainwashed and they paralyzed. Who can save them, change them? That's my battle cry. How many people are dying? Nobody relying on what is important today. We killing each other and looking the other way. So many people are walking this way. Talking today to bring truth and the light and to fight for what's right. I'ma tell them we need it. Stopping the hate and debating the people. Let go of the judging. It's time we achieve it. Stop acting like you never heard it. This world is crumbling and still believes it don't deserve it. Money, the root of evil. Take this needle. Here's a shot of shallowness. We get a high off judging people, but I got no limits. I'ma make sure that I'm taking a stand. Wanted me to do kind of rapper dapper. Go ahead, shake my hand. I'm a fan. I'm making moves. Share some news. Your girl is coming to it. Ain't no limits on me. See it, change your head. I'm running to it. I got no limits on me. I got no limits on me. I got no limits on me. I got no limits. Time is ticking, the lights are flicking, the minds are flipping, the crime has risen, it's like we're living, these souls are tripping. Who can be brave enough making a difference? Listen, so many are crumbling, the problems are doubling. These people are suffering, no one discovering how we'll get up again. Don't care what they think of me. It's time that you stick with me. See in this world, yeah, it's convicting me. Preaching the word to your people are sick of me. Raising the bar, future is gripping me. Gotta move forward, the Lord can deliver me. Living me, always get rid of the misery. Giving me strength like I'm making, don't limit me. I'm confessing that we could be better people. Look to each other and know we're equal. Spreading the hatred and know it's lethal. Fighting a war, we don't need a sequel. These people are cursing their life away. This isn't the type of way. Throwing your fight away. Need to make changes and doing it right away. Come follow me and a change will happen. Yeah, coming together, see people's reactions. Yeah, we're living for greater, gotta take action. Never put limits on me, guaranteed. What got on my side, there's no more distractions. I got no limits on me. I got no limits on me. I got no limits on me. I got no limits on me.
Ooh, what do you think, man?
Man, it's just you asked my hip hop head and bring you back to old school, man.
Goodness. Yo, welcome to the session. We are back. I got an amazing good friend of mine, none other than Daniel K. I'm gonna tell you all in a minute what his last name. Kasambira. Man, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Well, doing fantastic, Fred, man. When you contacted me, so this is an opportunity for me. I'm honored and privileged. You always doing things big, and I'm honored to be a part of this Bible Beats and Bars.
You already know the business. So listen, we do this every Saturday. You guys know that. And so we want to get in, and this is a special month that's recognized globally, but we want to do something different a little bit here at the session. We really want to dig in and share and just kind of invite you into the world of what Black excellence looks like. Now, last week we had an amazing conversation with Miss Martin. I mean, amazing conversation dealing with career access unlimited. So today we're going to dig in. We're going to talk about executive management in existence and how that is formed from a perspective of someone who is sitting in the chair, making significant impact and difference. So first of all, we always do this, Daniel. We always ask First of all, you telling me your full name. I love your last name too. So y'all know who we dealing with. It's gonna be on the screen anyway. But do you have a favorite scripture or a quote that you live by? If so, then why don't you share it with our folks?
Well, my scripture is my life verse is Jeremiah 29:11, which you all heard. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope in a future. And I try to live my life by those scripture. But Jalen Hurts the other day, Philadelphia Eagles, made said a scripture. His goes by John 13:7,
Okay, what's
and
that?
it says, "May understand what I'm doing now, but someday you will." And that was powerful, man. I never really heard it. And I said, okay, maybe I want to add to my arsenal.
But and I'm excited for you being here, Daniel, because your story is just that. You know, greatness. When you see people doing great things, and when you look at somebody and say, "Man, that guy is amazing," that young lady is, "Oh my goodness, she's brilliant," and we look at them already at the top, but we don't know the story behind the person. We don't know the struggle. We don't understand what it took to be that person sitting in the chair directing film, that person that is making billion-dollar deals and moving the needle in terms of transformation and community. So I'm glad you're here because man, you have an amazing story, and so let's. There's always a backstory. So what's your backstory? Who is Daniel Kasambira?
Well,
Who
to
is
start
Daniel?
off and giving honor to my parents who are both deceased now, but Dr. Daniel Reverend Mercy Kasambira. My dad was a college professor for 28 years.
Okay.
My mom was a pastor for 13 years. And
Wow.
they instilled in all of us the importance of first education, but then also importance of understanding where your help comes from and be guided by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So it's been an honor. And so when I started the backstory, I started there.
Yeah.
And them having the impact on me and talking about the importance of service, the importance of relationships. You never really understand until you get older and why they did what they did and what they told you, why it's important to get to know who you are. One of the first things they told us, the Kasambira name, which is very, very important. But they said, you understand your first name, your middle name, and your last name.
Wait. Do it again. Understand your first name, your middle name, and your last name. Why?
Because I'm originally from Zimbabwe, Africa. I came to States when I was 2.5.
Okay.
So, but they said, Daniel, that means God is your judge.
Mm.
Tambarika, which is my middle name, means that you may have some challenges and things in your life, but you can overcome those things to be successful.
Wow.
And then Kasambira was his name, swimmer. We had a person, our ancestor, that swam across a long river, and that's where he came up with our name. And of course, I was a junior, so following my father's footsteps, I wanted to make a significant difference in this society that we have.
You know what I love about that, and even if we take that, even when we look at our ancestors, and we look at everything that they did, they had a significance behind the name.
Absolutely, because you don't take those things lightly.
Come on.
So one of the first things I would do, I mean, I did actually get in trouble before when I was younger. I won't tell my sister that, but I did. And but they would always, first thing my dad would say is, don't tarnish the Kasambira name because it means something. And I've held that because I understand that I'm not representing just myself. I'm representing our ancestors and a lot of people that have impact on my life. And as you go through life, you realize there's people like Mrs. Stopper, who was my kindergarten teacher, who took the time out, her and her husband took the time out to take this young African kid and said, hey, you've got some special in you. I'm gonna do some things. The Wilson family, who greeted me when I was 4 years old when we moved from Cleveland, Ohio to Mansfield, Pennsylvania. They came with a plate of cookies and said, we see something in you. You're going to be successful.
Wow.
And it became a second family and
Wow.
put a basketball in my hand and taught me how to play the game, Mr. Wilson. And we're still friends today. And so things like that, we have people along the way that have impacted my path, and teachers, coaches, friends that have all impacted me along this journey.
Yeah. So now you said something that I like, basketball. So what you all may not know is that this brother was in the sports. Tell us a little bit about that journey, man, because now we're going to talk about what he does today. We're going to talk about some other cool things. But again, it's all about the backstory because, credibility comes from the backstory.
Yeah, I was fortunate, man. I was able to play basketball through high school and end up scoring over 1,000 points. I'm
Wait. You kind of ran past that. Did you hear that, Professor? He said I just scored 1,000 points. slow that down and say that.
That was a long time ago. But
it still
I did have
happens.
1,000 points in high school, and then ended up getting a college scholarship to Roberts Wesleyan College, and I played pretty well there, and ended up scoring 1,000 there. But my thing about that is, more importantly, I was a point guard, so I was able to really get other people in the game, and I'll be able to carry those things out into my current position now, but also through life, and saying, what can I do to make others better? How can I develop relationships and pull people together to understand that it's going to take all of us in order for us to be successful. And the friendships I've garnered from that, to my best friends, Dave Brown and Kenny Lee, where we were teammates, and just so things like that, where people had an impact on my life, and I was able to kind of lead in those areas.
Again, we're going to go to a couple songs. We're going to go to one song, because I definitely want to dig in on the second side of the song. But it's so important that we always consider community. Like when you talked about service, then you talked about being a point guard, scoring 1,000, killing the game. But the biggest part of that was making sure that the game was about the team win. We're going to hear this song by Jay Monty. He's got an amazing song called Beat the Block. And, you can go to the top, but if you don't get in the community and you don't hit the block and say, hey, man, come on with me. Hey, sis, I see potential like the second family.
Yes, the Wilson family saw something. Yeah,
they saw something in you, and they took the initiative to help this young Black boy that has come overseas to the States and said, listen, here's some cookies. Let's sit down. We want to make sure you get your education. What else do you need? What do you need? What do your mom need? What do you need? Boom, boom, boom. We'll be right back. The session, Bible Beats and Bars. Well, my man Kasambira. Yeah, that's what's up. I'll mess with you. All right, we'll be right back.
Wow.
Beat the block up, free my partner. Speak with honor, beat the posture. A seasoned scholar, I keep it proper. Demon stalker, eat the chopper. He leaking lava, need a doctor. Keep your chakra. I see the Father stand holy, stand lowly. Can't control me, favor on me, hating on me. Fake and phony, load the bases. I'm going places, I'm closing cases, poker faces, no folding flaking. Jehovah say the young, crazy, rowdy Clayton County resident. I've been places you never went. I got cousins who spin the block and make the chopper stutter like a speaking impediment. Sailor homie, the reason you buy bullets probably cause you ain't reading the testament. It would lessen your lessons unless sin is just your element. That's elementary like elemental P. I could go from show to show and toe to pole as long as totem pose if you want it. I'd rather show a soul to the scrolls that Jehovah spoke. When he wrote it, I'm floating, I've been having. I got killer serving, life sentences hitting me. You know the bar is real when they giving my penitentiary in the penitentiary. Make your list, but don't forget to mention me. They call me the Big 450. Cause when I spit, I hit my target. The flow up and down like crypto market. The way my body covered in the blood, I'm just praying a crypto market. Just gon' spark it, get your guard up, cause I'm darting at any, mini, mighty picker artist. They say how he get metaphors and deliveries with all of the synonyms. It's cause one day he metaphors that delivered he from all of the sin in him. Monty a proven prodigy for nothing. I grew a colony, a true monopoly. For demons to choose to follow me, the bullets start flying. Something like Deuteronomy. Gas, gunning, trash, dumping facts, pumping cow. Crushing the industry, then tried to beat me down. Man, I wish my dog could see me now. Couldn't feed my child, they evil foul. They wonder how I even smile. I slept on the floor, they slept on my flow. Guess we even now. Hey, I'm a certified speaker knocker. I can make you delete your roster. Hey, label heads sending frequent offers, but I promise I don't need your dollar. Most of these rappers are acting on the internet and they need an Oscar. Without the web, you Peter Parker. I make demons flee and holler when I beat the block up. Free my partner. Speak with honor, beat the posture. A seasoned scholar. I keep it proper, demon stalker. Eat the chopper. He leaking lava, need a doctor. Keep your chakra. I see the Father stand holy, stand lowly. Can't control me, favor on me, hating on me. Fake and phony, load the bases. I'm going places, I'm closing cases, poker faces, no folding flaking. Jehovah say the young, crazy, rowdy Clayton County resident.
Yo, this is DB Real Music, and you are tuning in to the Sessions, Bible, Beats, and Bars. Once again, there's Bible, Beats, and Bars with the boy, with the homie, Minister Fred, #2. God bless. Thank y'all. We here. Keep tuning in. We love y'all. Peace.
Man, I beat the block up. Welcome back to the session. I'm hanging out with my man with Daniel. Man, what's going on? What you think, bro?
Man, powerful, brother. You know, you don't make me go back into the
crates,
cribs.
huh?
Yeah, get into the crates, man. Old school, man.
Yo, so who's gonna be your favorite? Who's your favorite hip hop artist from the old to the new?
Man, Chuck D
Oh.
was my one of my favorites. LL,
Oh my God,
Tribe Called Quest,
oh my goodness,
Big Daddy
boy.
Kane,
Oh.
and Biggie, of course, and
Yes,
the
sir.
Tupac.
Oh.
So yeah, all those brothers, man, which used to bring it. Yeah, I was
and they still bring it with the legacy. I mean, real
Common.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Oh my goodness. So listen, we are here with Daniel Kasambira. Listen, but I do want to say, don't forget that we do this every Saturday. But let's go back, Professor X. Shout out to my man, Professor X. I'm gonna have to toss up a picture so y'all can see him. He's gonna sneak up here too before the show's up. Hopefully, he's got a dope hat for real. Just you got to look at his hat. Anyway, you're not in the studio, you wouldn't see his hat. But anyway, on Fridays, every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, we do the No More Dirty TV show. So listen, I know a lot of people are always hitting us up. We get a lot of great responses. Man, I'm looking for good content for my family. I like the hip hop. I love the R&B. I like this, but I don't want all of that negative messaging. So listen, if you want to tune in, we invite you to join us. Subscribe to the channel, No More Dirty INC. Make sure you subscribe. And then turn on the notifications and guess what? Every Friday, 7:30, you're gonna get this. Every Wednesday, you're gonna get this 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You figure it out in your coach. Then on Saturday, you'll see it like you see now. That's what we're doing. The session, Bible beats and bars all day, hanging out with people like this guy right here, Dr. Daniel. A bad dude, man. Across the board. All got skills. You still hoop?
The game's passed me by, brother. I still shoot jump shot though, man. I play a game of horse. My son always told me the game passed me by, so I'll play a game of horse though. That's about it.
Well, every Saturday you can bet your dollar, bro. You're gonna get some great content, transformative talk. Now you heard the videos. They're gonna be dope. We only do features though for this one, and then you also get that ultimate message how you can become a better you. And then on Sunday, you already know the business. You already know No More Dirty Radio Show. Now we're on several platforms, a couple networks too. But I'm just going to shout out G93. We're there every Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Shout out to my man Ed Gaines. Also, We Up 103.1. You already know #1 for hip hop and R&B. They have an app, and that's at 6 o'clock on Sundays. And then we kick it all the way worldwide, globally with envision-radio.com. Shout out to Liz C and Admiral. They just the whole squad over there. And we're on Mondays. Now, this on the East Coast, it's 4 p.m. In the afternoon. And then on Central Time, it would be 3 p.m. So you got plenty of content. And then, of course, the website, nomoredirty.org. You can go there. You can listen to all of it. Literally, the podcast, that's on every streaming platform. So anyway, back to the show, man. The session, Bible Beats and Bars. So, Daniel, I was thinking about we was bopping our heads to the block, the J Monty, man, he's out of control. But it made us think about, man, the journey. Who would have known your journey? Just like we don't know your journey. But you, guess what? You're predestined for excellence. So let's talk about your journey, because now you hold a position now as the president and CEO of United Way of Madison County, which is huge because you all work with several local nonprofit partners. And we're going to talk about that. But before we get there, you really got to share the story, because like when I met you, you was doing great things in the community. We did a lot of great things, and that's been some years. Now look at him, man, standing there at the helm of United Way of Madison County. Congrats, man, on that, for real.
Man, I appreciate it, man, and to God be the glory, because it hasn't been easy. And I'll share the shortened version of it. When I moved down from New Jersey down to Birmingham, Alabama, was still with the YMCA, and great experience, and left the Y and went for a for-profit route. Ended up a year into the for-profit route. They merged with another company. Ended up not having a job. So 3 months in, my wife and 4 children. Wow. We're trying to figure things out, and couldn't find anything. I was hustling, trying to write grants and do different things for my nonprofit experience, and my wife was holding it down with her job at a UAB, and ended up going to deliver pizzas, Papa John's Pizza. This is in 2006.
Wow.
So,
Wait. You went from all of that, and then life happens, and you slinging pizza.
yeah, delivering pizza, Papa John's, and
Okay.
it was part of the journey, brother.
Part of the journey. Keep
And I
going.
went through that, and lo and behold, 10 months in, the United Way of Central Alabama hires me as a relationship manager. Now, for those that don't know, the relationship manager is basically a frontline person, goes out to the community and business and things and raises money. I was raising $7 million. But as you all know, in frontline business, you're not making a lot of money. So what I was doing was from 8 to 4 every day, going out raising $7 million, my shirt and tie for United Way of Central Alabama.
Mhm.
And then from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night, I was delivering pizza at Papa John's. Started off 7 days a week, then went down to 6, went down to 5. And it was a lot of work, man. And at 3.5 years, I was doing that. So when you talk about the journey of going through this, when you're trying to feed your family, you're trying to position yourself for greater things, you got to respect the journey that people go through. And that's why I never take it lightly what people are doing, because everyone's trying to do something better for themselves. And at the lowest point at 2008, when you talk about relationships and people who have helped you along the journey, I think about Camille Cowherd, and I had a flat tire at United Way. Couldn't afford $40 to fix my tire
Wow.
to go to work that night.
Wow.
She reached out to the leadership of United Way of Central Alabama and said, "Listen, we got to take care of this guy." And I can say it now without crying, but they invested $40 to repair my tires, could deliver pizzas the rest of the night.
Wow.
Also in 2008, there was a young man named Kevin Grigsby who worked for Alabama Power. And he saw the struggle I was in, and he basically took our family and said, "Listen, we support families because we know if we're going to have a Christmas." And he said, "I want to take your family under our wings," and allowed us buy gifts for our kids, and we delivered gifts to kids. So those people will help along the journey. I'm Judge Andre Sparks, who talked about the importance of relationships.
Wow.
And he mentions to me, he's a judge, prominent judge in Birmingham, and said, "Daniel, down south, we develop with their family relationship first before we develop business. You got to learn the art of developing relationships. Once you do that, greater things that happen." So
Wait. Did y'all hear what he said? Listen, did you hear what he said? A lot of times we have it backwards.
yes,
We want the money, we want the bag, but we have no relationships. We haven't taken the time to say thank you in non-verbal ways. You know what I'm saying? And so when people remember you and remember the situations and come through for you, when it's time for them to step up and say, "We want you," at the helm of a major corporation, company, agency, nonprofit, whatever that may be, it all goes back to relationships. Go ahead.
absolutely, man. And so when we'd met, fortunately during that time, I ended up getting a job here at Huntsville, Alabama A&M University, for my past relationships with Lucian Blankenship as a board trustees member. There's an opportunity at Alabama A&M, going back to relationships, and
Wow.
ended up interviewing, getting a position here on the Hill,
Yeah.
and just was able to really make some sort of a difference and impact a lot of students and work with some great faculty and staff and community members. And through that process, once again, another relationship happened. I went through leadership of Greater Huntsville. Joe Colazzo from Coastal Corporation saw something in me. He said, "Man, you're a servant leader,
Wow.
and we'd like you to consider a job with you YMCA," back in the YMCA here. And I was hired by Jerry Courtney, and ran the Hogan YMCA for 7 years, and got a position as a community engagement officer for the organization. But lo and behold, going back to relationships again.
Relationships.
United Way job opens up as the president CEO position. And I still remember to this day when Ron Poteet and Dave Hargrove called me and said, "Hey, we're part of the search committee. Are you interested in this CEO job at United Way?" So going back to, so my first interview was a virtual interview, and I looked at the camera on the virtual interview. There was 13 people on the camera, the who's who of our area, the Joe Newberries, the Ron Poteets, the Beth Richardsons, Kenny Anderson, Dave Hargrove, Lee Holland, Larry Lewis. And I looked through the people and I said, of the 13 people on the screen, I had personal relationships with 11 of them.
Wow.
And that was a blessing, man. I look back to Andre. Well, fortunately, I was able to go through and get the position as president and CEO here. And I made 3 calls. First call I made was my wife and said, "We made it, honey. We made it. You remember when we were at the toughest part of life, a 3.5 year stretch. We made it, and I thank you because you never during that time, whether a shirt and tie on or a Papa John shirt, you never doubted your husband. My kids never always looked at me and looked up to me as their father and always loved me the same. Second call I made was Camille Cowherd. Camille, you saw me at my lowest time, but you invested enough in me and said, hey, we need to take care of this guy. We made it, Camille. And then the third call I made was Kevin Grigsby. Hey, Kevin, I'm president CEO of United Way, Madison County now. We made it. And there's multiple, Andre Sparks, called him. There's multiple people along my journey who I made phone calls. The Wilson family back into Pennsylvania. We made it.
Yeah.
You know, so there's people like that along the journey, which was important to say thank you because no day is promised, man. Today is, we're in February right now, and my wife and I pray every day that this is the day the Lord has made. Rejoice and be glad in it because nothing's promised. And let's make the point to be a blessing to others. And I'm blessed to be in the role I'm in. They're a great board, a great staff team, and we're excited about the great things that can happen to impact and serve this community.
Professor, I want you to cue up a song by Tadashi. Tadashi has a song. He says, nothing can stop us. Nothing I can't do and cannot be stopped. So we want you to understand this conversation is just affirmation. Stick to the plan. Put in the work. Do what you have to do and watch it come to fruition. So we're going to we'll be right back with Daniel, man, because we got more questions. And we want you to understand that, listen, wherever you sit, whether you have a home or not, whether you're in an alley and you looking at this online, whether you're in lockup and you got a pass, whether you are sitting on a house where your house is worth more than the river it sits on, it doesn't matter. It's about pushing through in relationships. We'll be right back. The session, Bible Beats and Bars with my man Daniel Kasambira. Hey, enjoy this joint. It's hot. Nothing can stop us. Let's go.
You don't know what I've been through. Lost it all in my rents due. Trouble when it rains it floods. In my pain, no, it ain't all good. No, but I tell them this, I'm a witness that everything gets made new. So tell them, dog, I ain't through. Feels like this life just became a fight. Yeah, I'm in it, ain't no way out the pressures on me. Yeah, the stretches on me. But tell them who ain't gon' crack on me.
I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. Look, it ain't nothing I can't do.
Okay, life for most, we know that this is not paradise, but we swear it's tight when she wear it right. I feel the heat, that's my end advice. It's a rest of me to get the rest of me. You start burning for that, but ain't no turning me back. That's pressing me, and they testing me. To see me fail to give me hell, so I be burning in that. Yeah, right. Life is an island, which means we trapped in that. But we cool cause the view so nice and lax. We don't feel the pain cause the laughter gas for one blast of that. And you'll forget that this pain is real. Yeah, but no matter how good it feels, man, this pain is a thing that kills. Man, I heard that, so I swerved back. Curved that, cause only curved back. Every time I feel that urge back, we cross paths when we merge that. It drives me crazy, but lately, man, I feel like I can make it. Just last year I couldn't take it. In the street, man, I can say this.
I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. Look, it ain't nothing I can't do. Might walk on hard. I won't lose still. Gotta go hard. I ain't gotta do it myself. I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. Feeling like I can't lose. Ain't nothing I can't do.
What you said, all that fame and gone in my head, like that same power that saved me, can't raise me from the dead. They get me reading, thinking about keeping peace, about waging war on myself. I'm feeling myself, then I'm killing myself. I'm sipping on blood and I'm chewing on flesh. Just chill out. We don't want to hear that mess. All that won't do that, and I can't do this. Pain, death, hurt, hate, we done been through this, and I'm sure it's plenty more that I ain't been through yet. But I don't care though. Bring on the heavy metal. I got a power living in me that will never settle. Never leave, never forsake. I'ma bleed, never come back with the keys to the safe. Got a piece sitting deep so the things that I face can't erase God's ink. Way clean with the paint, and I'm stained in it when the pain hit me. I would stand anything that you bring to me. The letter tell me what I can't do faithfully. The letter tell me what I can't do faithfully. The letter tell me what I can't do faithfully. I'm coming back from the dead. What you saying to me? I can't do.
I can't do. They ain't nothing I can't do. They ain't nothing I can't do. They ain't nothing I can't do. I can't do. They ain't nothing I can't do. They ain't nothing I can't do. Look, it ain't nothing I can't do. Might walk on hard. I won't go still. Gotta go hard. But I ain't gotta do it myself. I can't do. There ain't nothing I can't do. Feeling like I can't lose. Ain't nothing I can't do.
Welcome back to the session, man. Yo, listen, there ain't nothing that you can't do. If you put your mind to it, you ask the good man upstairs to do some work with you, and then you put in the hard work. Now, listen, we're talking about my man Daniel Kasambira. You are the president and also CEO of United Way of Madison County here in Huntsville, Madison County area, obviously. Um, what's another thing that's really, really amazing when you talk about relation? You're actually the first African American to hold this position ever in history, right? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we'll be 80 years in August
80,
as an organization
80.
here. Yeah, 80 years here in
Wow.
in Madison County, and I'm blessed to be the first. Hopefully not the last, because we want to make sure this goes on. And think about it, it's a blessing because I never expected this. I just continue to do the work, and there's 1,800 United Ways across the world, 1,100
Wow.
in the United States, and there's only 36 of people who look like me in those roles. So it's a blessing, but it's
Yeah.
also, as Stephen A. Smith says in his book Straight Shooter, he talks about when we go to work as Black men and Black women, we have a responsibility, and we've got to hold that responsibility because others are looking to us to carry the torch. Others are going to look to us to make sure that we're setting an example because we're responsible. So I take this as a larger calling. First of all, as a Christian man. Second of all, as a Black man, and also third of all, as understanding that hopefully young people and people in general will say, "Hey, we can do bigger and better things than I can do."
You know, I think that's a great way for me to ask this next question. So, as now at the helm of this organization, how many organization partnering or nonprofits that you vet and work with? First of all, that's the first part, and then let's talk about the leadership aspect of it, because that's a huge role. What role? What is your goals in terms of making sure that people are seen and not just heard, but seen, heard, and that things and needs are met through your organization?
Well, we have 27 partner agencies who do fantastic work in our community. And the great part about it is we don't necessarily handpick these organizations. We have 53 key volunteers through our community impact allocations process of key leaders in our community who are part of this to make a difference and said, hey, these are some things we need to fill gaps. And people apply to be a part of United Way on a 3-year cycle. So we're part of the process, but we don't hold the entire process in our hands. We allow volunteers to be a key part of that. So you probably know some of the 27 partner agencies. I've probably used some of the 27 partner agencies and 35 programs overall. And when you talk about being seen and not just heard, we make it a point to serve. We make it a point to be out and about. As I was telling you, I think earlier, that I'm involved in a lot of different organizations. I'm blessed to be a part of Committee 100, Rotary, Leadership Greater Huntsville, Alabama Association of Nonprofits, now the Community Advisory Board for Alabama A&M, Renaissance Bank Advisory Board. So I'm been blessed and sit with Kenny Anderson, one of our great leaders in our community, and several task force with him. And it's just been an honor to be able to serve. And because what I understand is this: the more that I can make an impact and be a part of teams in our community to make an impact, the quicker we'll be able to turn some things around and make significant steps as far as making a difference in our community.
You know, another thing I want to talk about, and I think is important, and I think I want to really would like for you to speak to that, is just being involved with organizations and boards. Why is that important to be engaged in other boards and involved in other initiatives, even though you may have your own? Because it's like a young person's in college, they're coming out, they doing the intern, but they have never sat on a board, never worked hand in hand or hands on. Why are these things important in terms of leadership?
Well, you can learn a lot because when you sit on these boards, you have so many sharp people that have things to bring to the table. So I learned quite a bit from sitting on these boards with different people, but also gives you access because I can make a phone call to certain people in our community just based on our relationships with being on these boards. Also gives us representation on these boards to say, hey, I've got a voice. I can say some things that can help move some of these initiatives and move the needle on a lot of different things. And so it's imperative that you opportunity to be able to serve and get hands-on, but you can learn so much. And I learn something every single day from serving on these different committees and boards.
I love that. I love that. Let's go. I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to go to the song. This question I think is important. It is in terms of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. From the perspective of executive leadership, for you, understanding that as a Black man, but understanding that as an executive that sits and has to make wise decisions, why is that so important today? I mean, literally, we could not just because we need it. No, why is it important today?
Well, I think someone said one time that if you have a person of color in senior leadership positions, people are twice as likely to be more engaged and involved, especially twice like people that look like us. And it's important that we really have the voice and say that we can sit in these chairs. We can be at the table with decision makers to really make a difference. But also because people need to understand that there's other avenues as far as being a leader. It doesn't have to be an MBA, doesn't have to be an entertainer. Yeah, there's opportunities for you to be able to lead and make it a significant difference in whatever community that you serve. And it's inspiring to see some people like you, Fred, and doing some great things in the community for a long time. You've continued to hold the mantle and keep things moving and not change from your vision and your plan. And God's blessing you for that, and greater things are going to happen. And you providing folks like me a platform to be a part of this is just a testament to you, because you never forget that where you came from, but also never forget that understand that we need to have a voice of Black excellence. And I'm just honored and humbled to be a part of this community and just do my little part to make a difference.
Well, thank you so much. But let me tell you something. We got this video coming now. It's by an artist by the name of Swoop, SWOOPE, and he got a squadron of MCs, females, male. You talking about diversity, equity, inclusion. When you watch this video, you're gonna get it. It's called The Industry. Because at the end of the day, it's a cipher, bro. You're gonna like this one, bro. And it's called Same Team. Same team, baby. It don't matter whether your ethnicity is a little different. You got some cream, vanilla, chocolate, cocoa, butter, scotch, chocolate, milk chocolate. It doesn't matter, bro. At the end of the day, we on the same team. And as long as we're on the same team, we can push the needle however we decide the needle should go. So we'll be right back. We're not done. So don't get it twisted. It's The Session, live with my man, Daniel Kasambira, the executive. You already know, CEO and president of United Way of Madison County. Shout out to Kathy. Love you. Take us out, Professor.
What I'm finna quit for? You see me living like a king. It's still 116, bruh. Oh Lord, working for the same team. I think I need an ad-lib from Diddy. Cause I'ma take that to each and every city. Homie, I'ma take that. 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 I think I need an ad-lib from Diddy. Cause I'ma take that to each and every city. Homie,
It crazy selling million records, and my name don't get mentioned in the review. It don't matter, get the W, cause even players on the bench get rings too. Way deep is what the crew is. On the same team, all running the same play. So you need to check your motives if you're doing this. If you was mad, Andy sold 28K, taken away from the mission. All this division don't add up. It all equals dissension. You ask me, that's bad math, bruh. So yeah, I'm on collision, but really I am indifferent. If you want 1-6 and independent, no, you ain't living. Junkie dream, itching, humble coffee bean sipping. Long as the mission and the team don't seem different.
Humble beats is a piece of a piece. Like a finger missing middle, little richer with the screen, but the singing kinda simple with the keys. Kinda tripping, playing notes, try to listen, can you hear it or you don't? Cut your ears with your feet. Kinda different with the body incomplete, huh? What's the difference if the body gon' compete, huh? That's a team picture, IG it when you see us.
I just follow my marching orders, beg your pardon. Tell me how I went from dead to parting. Don't tell me how to testify. I'm a wretch with an extra life, and that's how I continue. Word to Jay Givens, being venue. I'm killing everything on the menu. That's the same team, grab a utensil.
Burn. What I'm finna quit for? You see me living like a king. It's still 116 though. Oh Lord, welcome to the same team. I think I need a ad-lib from Diddy. Cause I'ma take that to each and every city. Homie, I'ma take that, take that. 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 I think I need a ad-lib from Diddy. Cause I'ma take that to each and every city. Homie, I'm
humble as a mumble in the jungles of shouts and screams, digging tunnels under a stampede. Beast. Okay, keep praying for the grace we stay cold but never freeze. Like water at 4 black degrees. Fahrenheit, where was I here if I share a terabyte? We don't care if you verified. Your little brand's just a fraction in the middle of a grain of sand on the hand of a master crafter of sand castles with a passion. Imagine decapitating dragons. We are just a vapor on paper on another vapor of a microcosm of a remnant of minions running like Kenyans like Obama in repentance to the Father. Better warn the town the beast is loose and you on the same team if the dream's from the same king. If it floats from the same stream, if it dumps in this game green.
I think I kinda feel it, no competition. Smelling like Teen Spirit, Nirvana, no Cobain. We blow brains, we ain't wanna hear it. Same team, we clicked up now. 40 deep, won't switch up high. Stay 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Got the Kings riding with me, but we take it to the mind. Coming from the bottom of the map, and they know it coming unashamed. Shout it, cause I ain't afraid to show it. If it's Southern California or it's $30, keep it slapping in the bay, dog. You know we got a shot. They got us twisted up like them gang signs speak. We take it all over every place I be. We bring it to the church, but don't hate on me, cause every now and then you gotta show ID. I be
what I'm finna quit for. You see me living like a king. It's still 116, bruh. Oh Lord, working for the same team. I think I need an ad-lib from Diddy. Cause I'ma take that to each and every city. Homie,
oh, look who they let out the cage. They ain't wanna hear it from a kid underage. Said he's trying to get placed, get a boy a little grace. I'm trying to be the light-skinned Puerto Rican MLK with a little bit of Dilla and a little bit of Lupe. From the cool day straight from a runaway slave. Now I'm free with a fee that's already been paid. Get a boy a little grace. 1.6, give him 16, 8-16, had a dream, now I'm 18, give him 8 bars, 66, we a problem, get it soft in your number game. Working for the same team, while we trying to floss, and we all got the same gleam. They say the sheep's getting lost, I'm a mirage for the cars, cause the sound getting mainstream.
What I'm finna quit for? You see me living like a king, it's still 116, bro. Oh Lord, working for the same team. I think I need an ad-lib from Diddy. Cause I'ma take that to each and every city. Homie, I'ma take that, take that. 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 I think I need an ad-lib from Diddy. Cause I'ma take that to each and every city. Homie, I'ma
take that attitude. Hey, welcome back to the session. Had to get a cipher in, bro. You already know. So listen, hope you all are enjoying this. Don't forget to go to our website, nomoredirty.org. if this is really being a blessing to you, getting it, you enjoying it, support it. We talk about it. Hey man, that's a great show. Okay, put some on it. If that's a great show, then show some love. If that's a great show, what's the next initiative? Go be about it. You know what I mean? What do you think, bro?
Absolutely. And when we can invest in great shows like this and clean shows and just trying to make a difference,
Yeah.
it goes a lot further because we invest in so many other things that are, Christian, aren't, clean. So we have the opportunity to be able to do something, invest something powerful because it's being done for a great cause, and your investment is well worth it.
Listen, I want you to talk now. I want to shift a little bit. We're almost done, you all, but we want to talk about the power of paying it forward and how it and so I'm not just the impact, but the imprint. It's like a tattoo. When you get a tattoo, you're imprinted with that tattoo the rest of your life, right? Is the rest of your life. So my question to you is, understanding the journey, having gone from little to where you are now, where you had just small responsibility to now greater responsibility. What the power of paying it forward? Let's talk a little bit about that. Talk to the folk, because I think a lot of times we forget that paying it forward is really the imprint of community service, not just the impact. Oh, how many people did we reach? We reached 5,000. Oh, well, right. Check in the box. We're not talking about checking the box. We're talking about being the box.
Yeah, I always make the point that, people say they give to a place. We want investments. You want people to invest in the things, what they believe in. They invest whether it's their time, talent, or treasure. We make those investments and pay it forward. This is a great opportunity for us to be able to really make a difference in the needs of, especially our young people. With the United Way, where, with education, financial stability, and health, we're focused working with the Huntsville City Schools on some education initiatives and with financial stability, having young people to figure out what they want to do. If they don't want to go to college, that may be an option. So maybe workforce development. So getting some people filling these jobs that different companies in our town, and we're helping along with that way. And with health, with mental health piece, we focus on trying to impact everybody's lives. So when you're talking about paying forward, there's different opportunities and different ways in which you can pay it forward, and we're responsible for that. As I said earlier, we have a responsibility to take care of the next generation, and it says in the word, you take care of your children and children's children, which is our ultimate responsibility. And I trust me on this, that you can't outgive God. And the more you give as far as time, talent, or treasure, and the more you give, the more you receive, and you're going to reap the rewards, and everybody reaps rewards for these different things.
I want to talk maybe one or two more questions, and we're done. Let's talk about. I want to go back to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging in the workforce place. All right. My question is, we are now looking at almost 5 generations in one workplace, which has never been done and never seen before. You got someone that's in their 70s, then you got somebody in their 40s, then we got a millennial, then you got then you have an alpha that's getting ready to turn 17, and the millennials just ready to turn 30, and then you have someone that's an X or Y, that 40, 50, all in one company or one business, one organization, one facility. Let's talk about that, the importance of DEI and belonging, and why now generations, more than 2, 3, 4 generations, why is that so significant now in that scenario?
Well, I'll do the best to answer that question, but Kristen Scroggins, of those that haven't heard or seen her, she's an expert on this as far as generations, and has done a great job. And if you ever get on her schedule, she's just so busy with that. But she's an expert on this. But one thing I understand, that like the song we just heard a minute ago, we're all on the same team. Yeah. So whether you're a 17-year-old or whether you're a 70-year-old, we're all trying to get towards one common cause. It's an opportunity for us to be able to learn from each other in those environments, whether you're white, Black, age difference, socioeconomic status, different parts of different career. There's an opportunity for us all to work towards one thing. So this is a great opportunity for us to really realize that there's so many talents and so many gifts that are around in that area. I had a conversation with my daughter today, with school, and I was sharing with her, she was saying, well, she wants to be a certain place, a certain way. And I told her, you run your own race, because you are gifted in what you're gifted in. Don't get in the comparison game, because you figure out where you're at, what you're going to do, because you have much to offer, and you're going to do great things within your world. So matter if you're 17-year-old or whether you're 70 years old or in between, there's some things you have to offer to make a difference, and just keep that in mind.
You know, that's love the fact that you talked about your daughter, because this next song is by AI. She's a female MC. Actually, she's my favorite. And then she's got a song called Grown Woman. Don't get it twisted. We'll be right back. You already know the business. No more dirty. The session. Oh man, Daniel, what you doing work? Yeah, it was a great lead in. Oh, we'll be right back.
She see boy, she be working with her hands. Yeah, that's the grown woman. Grind for the cause, hustle in advance. Yeah, that's a grown woman. Respect from a man, mind don't expand. Yeah, that's a grown woman. Stack up the bands, spend it on the land. Yeah, that's a grown woman. Woman, pack light and keep your faith right. God first when we aim. It don't matter what the daylight, cause dark gon' come. So prepare in the daylight. Life move quick, it don't wait for your right time. Woman with your weight hike. Burdens got you buried in a late night. Got you moving slow, grown women, we acknowledge it, growing, then move it on. Let go of all your calluses, learning to carry on. A grown woman work to balance emotions in weakest moments. I fail plenty like any, I pick it up, keep it going. I rise late in the night, my hubby trust in my grind. I serve him love of my life, I pack the sword for the fight. I teach my kids how to live, to love, give, and ignite. Wait, they talking rent, we tryna own. What a real estate. You let us in a room, we gon' renovate. We planting heavy, later harvest on a dinner plate. Wait. Don't watch us innovate. The real ones keep it Benny Frake, sis, never imitate. A village full of women with the faith that'll elevate. Grown woman business, we be reppin' with the heavyweight. We on a grown woman business. Why you in your feelings? You could come with us. We be on a whole nother village. And on this level, it's a whole lot of critics. We bring a lot of grown women with us. Respect me like a grown woman. You looking at a grown woman. And we be on a grown woman. You looking at a grown woman. They should wanna be in our vicinity. With sanities and body credit, therapy and golly deeds. I'll tell the truth for shame of beast. And make every percent of me an enemy to anything against the king. Queen, girl, you better represent with excellence you grown. Yeah, sure to do it, hope you do that on your own. Stay unashamed with your name, all the things you'd overcome. And never refrain from relaying, displaying how it's done. I reckon something missing is the misconception that world life's a hype that won't look like the next one. And all that vain advice the world disguised as blessed, son. They tell you go do what you want, you earned your session. To be the rudest, to be the crudest, to feed excuses, to bring influence, to speak is stupid, so fluent. You should be moving with order, steps could be ruling with guidance that you like, even a garden went wild. You know how that is. No one wonders about that nakedness you sport. Maybe it's boredom, but what our daughters see is important. Look, yo, if you disagree, the grown woman meet at 3. I pray we sway you over TV on that grown woman business. Why you in your feelings? You could come with us. We be on a whole nother village. And on this level, it's a whole lot of critics. We bring a lot of grown women with us. Respect me like a grown woman. You looking at a grown woman. And we be on a grown woman. You looking at a grown woman.
Y'all better respect the queens, man. I'm just saying. Welcome back to the session. What you thought, man?
Man, that's powerful. And, you know, and reading those unawares, they show the different artists. It's amazing because you see they talk about wife, mother, artist,
Yes.
entertainer.
Yes.
So they always start off with the most important things first before they went to the other areas, which says a lot because that's what it's all about, man. When it's all said and done, you know, for me, you know, I'm a Christian, I'm a husband, I'm a father, and, you know, I'm happen to be CEO of an organization. So we just got to get our priorities right. And when that happens, great things happen. So that was incredible.
Ooh.
That was incredible.
And it's great because it was diversity in the video. There were diverse ethnicities in the video. There were diverse, and there was inclusion because they all had a very same team concept. They said we got a grown village of grown women doing grown things. Got a husband that respects me. Got kids that love me. All of that's inclusive of the same team.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
I want to go out with a bang. We're going to go out with maybe a couple songs, but I do want to finale this as a CEO and as a president who have had all his experience. And let me tell y'all something. He's done grant writing. This guy has gone from 400,000 to 4.4 million in helping garnish to be able to do community service projects. That did you hear what I said? No, not take the bag and stick it in your pocket. 4.4 million to help people. Bruh, you got to give us a couple keys as we get out of here. It's keys to success, good success, not any kind of success, mobility. And how do you create a legacy of Black excellence? Because you are a Black man, and of course, excellence in general. But again, we want to focus on these things that we can garnish as people and people of color and community and what we can do to make a difference.
Well, I think one thing is be humble, because anything can happen anytime. And, if we're humble, a lot of times, will help us to understand
Love
where
that.
our strength comes from. Another thing, is getting a mentor to help you through the process, because there's people I can call at different times. Say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? But also hold me accountable. And then also, we need to read more. I try to read 3 or 4 books a month, because the more we can learn, the more we can, as a lifelong learners, we want to continue to grow. And then also giving of a surface and putting ourselves in those circles where we can learn and grow. And as they always say, that if you're the smartest person in your room, you're in the wrong room. And so we need to make sure that we're always learning and growing and just being a part of something greater. And we've got a great community here. We're the #1 city in the country.
That's right.
And we want to make sure that we uphold that for all of us.
Yeah.
Whether you're north side, south side, east side, west side, wherever you're at, uptown, downtown, wherever you're at, that we're #1 for everybody. And we've got a great opportunity, because we've got some just very smart people in this town, some very people that want to care and want to make a difference. And we just need to continue to work together, because we're all on the same team.
I want to again say thank you all for taking the time to tune in. Professor, I think we're going to give them 2 songs on the back end. And then, of course, don't forget March 18th. We're doing it big. 100% clean comedy, 3 national comedians in the city. And guess what? All of it is to make sure we have scholarships for our kids in our initiative, Camp Smart, and as well as the Greatness Project for kids that are struggling with brokenness. So don't forget to go to Eventbrite and be a part of that. You'll see the information there. It is. And I'm talking all clean. So you can take your whole family. The whole family, bro. You ain't got to worry about bleep, 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 bleep. You ain't got to worry about none of that. It's all clean. You know what I'm saying? So we want to say thank you. I'm going to shoot up a prayer, man, because I do believe that no matter where we sit in space and time and life and whatever our convictions are or may not be, I believe that having a connection with God, or some people call higher power, I believe that there is liberation in faith, finance, freedom, all of that stuff. You still got to have a belief system in something. And so I want to ask God's graces as you continue to do. And we want to pray for the folk as well that's watching. So let me do that real quick. So God, we just want to say thank you. We're truly grateful for you taking the time to allow us to learn, man. This has been a great experience, great conversation with him, Mr. Daniel Kasambira, and I ask that you'll be with him and his family. Continue to bless United Way, bless every partner, every affiliation that he's a part of. Bless all of the boards and everyone that he's working with and for and in conjunction with. And then, Lord, we just want to ask you to be with everyone that's watching this. Like, man, I want to do my thing. So, God, I ask that you would give them the wherewithal, send your spirit to lead them, guide them, direct them, and just, give them what they need so they can become their best self. Now, God, you said that, like Jeremiah 20:19, what you have in store for us is to prosper, to have an expected end, and also to be a giver. And so, Lord, as you bless us, and Lord, I always say it all the time, blow my mind, show me how big you are. So as we ask you to do for us, we ask you to do for everyone listening, and that will listen and will tune in. In the worthy name of he who makes all things well, Yahshua the Christ, who is Jesus of the Bible. Amen.
Amen.
Yo, again, we hope you had a great time. Don't forget to tune in. Every Saturday we do this. every Friday. We got something going on throughout the week on Mondays. If you miss it today, you can always watch it again. We'll have it on Monday evening at 7:30.
You keep doing what you're doing, Fred. I mean, you're making a difference, man. I'm just honored and privileged to call you friend because you're making a significant difference, and you've been a blessing to my life. So thank you.
Well, thank you. So listen, we're gonna take you out, and since we was talking about, it doesn't matter if they're on the north side, they throwing up the W's on the west side. Hey, Professor, let's give them two. Let's start out with I think we're gonna do Dre Murray. He has one he's talking about. As long as you stay in your lane and you keep doing what you're doing, don't matter what they saying, left, right, you just stay straight ahead. It's gonna be all right. And we're gonna finale with a clean up nicely. These guys has been in them streets, and he says, listen, I clean up nicely. So like how clean we jamming. See, this is clean. This is clean money here. This ain't dirty money. This is clean money. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're gonna have a good one. We'll see you next time. Shout out to my man Professor X. You already know, in the building. Turning the T's and the keys. We'll be right back. No, we won't. We'll see you later. Peace.
I just wanna keep flowing to the horn blow. And he roll back the
I got a kid on the way. Baby need more than shoes. I'm in the lab, we mastering Pro Tools. I'm crying and I am no fool. I know you so cool, but I wanna light the world up wearing no shoes. I'm shining, the flow's automatic, I am on cruise. Mission impossible like time, but I won't lose. I got a purpose, this is perfect timing. Pay close attention while I'm rhyming. Hey, I got a kid on the way. Baby need more than shoes. I'm in the lab, we mastering Pro Tools. I'm rhyming, I am no fool. I know you so cool, but I wanna light the world up wearing no shoes. I'm shining, the flow's automatic, I am on cruise. Mission impossible like time, but I won't lose. I got a purpose, this is perfect timing. Pay close attention while I'm rhyming. Playboy, I'm grinding.
Hog Mile Millennium. Man, I'm up here with Super Saiyan. And we realized one thing. Before Christ, man, our sin made us real dirty. Now, because his finished work alone, we clean up pretty nice. Yeah, flesh need to fall back, fall back. All the devil took from me, telling me can have that. Catch me at the doormat, doormat. Wiping off my sin with a way to get it in. They say I clean up nice, get it in. They say I clean up nice, I'm clean. They say I clean up nice, get it in. They say I clean up nice, I'm clean. I'm so turned out another kind of rider. In the same streets, a different kind of problem. Eternal life speaking and I be about it. Got the fear of Christ teaching real knowledge. Sin, birth, death, won't see college. Buying on my knees so they see the product. No time for play, stay real polished. Give a damn about your K, but you got a lot of. Just a whole lot of fraud, don't do charades. If you ain't serving God, you just in the way. You know I stay purged, clean, look at grace. Used to stay purged, drink every day. Now cause we living holy, it's a big deal. The fact God know me, give me big chills. I ain't buying what they selling like, been a thrill. Call my bitches up in heaven, yeah, I'm in his will. Flesh need to fall back, fall back. All the devil took from me, telling me can have that. Catch me at the doormat, doormat. Wiping off my sin with a way to get it in. They say I clean up nice, get it in. They say I clean up nice, I'm clean. They say I clean up nice, get it in. They say I clean up nice, I'm clean.
I'm the new X-Man, ex-Buddhist. Betrayed Christ too, ex-Judas. I'm covered by the blood like a fresh fetus. Born again believer, I confess Jesus. New to the squad, who's a loud ninja. Death to the flesh was a proud sinner. I was raised back to life from down under. Now I'm surfing on the ops like cowabunga. Saying better fall back. Anything you owe that. Here's to the dope throwback. The gospel's a cold rap. Strapped like a blowback. Snap like a Kodak. Christ gang and you know that. Forever mobbing, no cap.
Flesh need to fall back, fall back. All the devil took from me, telling me can have that. Catch me at the doormat, doormat. Wiping off my sin with a way to get it in. They say I clean up nice, get it in. They say I clean up nice, I'm clean. They say I clean up nice, get it in. They say I clean up nice, I'm clean.
Was a low down, dirty rich, but I cleaned up. Now I'm part of the bride of Christ, no prenup. Yeah, Romans 5:8, you better read up. Got the full armor of God on, spiritually G'd up. Stay high off that Holy Spirit, don't need no re-up. Unclean spirits, principalities getting beat up. We get purified in that fiery furnace, so turn the heat up. This battlefield, you gotta stay woke, so I don't sleep much. Just cause God used you, don't mean that you was serving, bro. And if you really got faith, then your works should show. You ain't a man of God cause you preach a good sermon, no. When you in the fire, will you trust in the Lord, burn or grow? The gospel the apostles preach is what you call that. If you ain't growing in holiness, then your faith is all cat. Ain't no point in making no claims if you don't walk that. Hooked on God, ministry over business, yeah, all that.
Need to fall back, fall back. All the devil took from me, telling me can have that. Catch me at the doormat, doormat. Wiping off my sin with a way to get it in. They say I clean up nice, get it in. They say I clean up nice, I'm clean. They say I clean up nice, get it in. They say I clean up nice, I'm clean. They say I clean up nice. They say I clean up nice. They say I clean up nice.